Spotlight family.
The one.
The only. Angie is in the building, y'all.
You already know. Give it up.
It must be Angie on the mic. Yes.
Yeah, man. So when you hear that,
Finally.
you already know who it is.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something that touched me. One day I'm driving, and I called in for the first time in my whole life.
You
right?
sure did.
And you answered. Y'all answered. You answered. And it was about my son's mom. And y'all were asking, do you think your son's child mom should be put in prison for their behavior as far as the neglect or not letting them see the child and the whole nine? And I got to say my piece, and you let me go in, and I was like, yes, first call ever. She answered the call, and she let me speak my piece. And I recorded the whole thing. I pulled up and recorded it and everything. So thank you. That meant a lot to me. You didn't even know that. So thank you for that. But thank you for being the big voice that you've been. Thank you for being the strong voice that you've been. Thank you for being the anchor for sisters that haven't made it and paved the way for those to come after you. Thank you for just being so strong that when it was a man-dominated industry, you stamped it, stood on
Kicked
it,
the damn door down.
strong, didn't let them play with you. And it must be Angie on the
they
mic.
couldn't play with me.
It must be Angie on the mic. So I thank you for that, because I promise you, we listen to you every single day. Riding, and you just brought some quality to our day. So thank you for everything that you've done.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Could not have said it better, honey.
Yeah, I really have a lot for her. I do.
Yeah, that is very kind. No, thank you so much. I mean, I think, I'm from here. I grew up here. I'm a proud Prince George's County resident. And both my parents are from Northwest DC, and so. Growing up listening to all these radio stations that I've now been a part of or imprinted on in some way that's the ultimate, it's just the feather in your hat in your career. And it's crazy. I got this Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm not even 40 yet, right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, dang, that's a lifetime. But when I put it into perspective, absolutely, it's been a lifetime of being in someone's ears, head, spirit, every day. Radio, we got to show up every day. And that's such a blessing, because I grew up listening to, on my way to school, listening to Donnie Simpson, and then we would ride the bus and listen to Russ Parr and laugh all the way to school. And then, I grew up on Big Tigger and the Live Squad, and just thinking I want to be that, I want to live that, I want to do that. And when I found out you could make a living off of it, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. And
so you just had the passion for it originally. You didn't
Absolutely.
Really look into the financial part of it. You just wanted to do it.
No, I was a kid, so I didn't understand that stuff. But I I love music. I love music. And I remember listening to Go-Go 95, and you hear the Huckabucks on the radio,
That's right.
Backyard Band on the radio.
You took it back, though.
Oh man, but wiser. So I used to listen. I would be listening to I loved music.
Right.
I loved hip hop. I loved go-go. I loved music. I loved R&B. And but I couldn't dance. I couldn't sing, and I couldn't rap. So it's like, how you gonna get into the music industry without those abilities? And the one thing I could do, I could talk, and I could talk really well. And so once I realized that this was a career, you can make a career out of it, I knew that was what I was gonna do.
So let me ask you something that a lot of people may want to know.
Sure.
Everybody has an inspiration that they pull from. Who is that for you, Angie Ainge? Who do you pull from when it comes to this music industry and inspiring you and staying locked in?
So many people. I pull from my mentors. I'm blessed enough. I've been blessed to be mentored by the people that I think at one point were probably like celebrities to me. So when I came into interning, when I got my internship my last year at Howard, and I got it at PGC, and I was with Adimu. Adimu was he was my first real mentor in it. And he was doing Afternoon Drive, and he took a liking to me. And he passed me on DJ Flex, and it was Flex and Rain. And DJ Flex took a liking to, they like my hustle. And then Adimu saw me in the club, because I would do clubs. And he's I went from interning for him. Interns, they don't really pay attention to interns. But I think I was just really driven, I was really serious about this.
You took it serious.
I took it serious. So I think he was like, okay, well, let me see what she could do. And so he came to a club one time. He watched me on the microphone. And after that, he's like, oh, you're actually good. So then that's when he said, Flex, no, she got something. So Flex and Rain mentored me. Flex, they toughened me up, pushed me around, punched me around, pushed me to be the best I could be. Like Flex was really, he was the captain at PGC, and he pushed me to be the very best I could be. And the rest was, I was there for a year, and WKYS called me. I was about to turn 23, the rest was the rest. I went
wow, the rest was the rest. Y'all know the rest. The rest was history.
So real quick, when was that one moment that you said, I made it? Like, you always see yourself on the radio, you see yourself in the industry, you one day want to get there, now you make it to the studio, you online every day, you on the radio. When did you finally look at yourself and say, wow, I made it?
A couple times. There's a couple times you think you made it, but you ain't really make it. So like, the first time I thought I made it was when Flex was like, I think Rain was pregnant at the time, and he was like, "You gonna come in and fill in almost, right?" So I called my cousin, I called everybody. I'm about to be on the radio, y'all. I'm about to be on the radio. Yeah, I'm a graduating senior. I go and he had me run the board, which means I didn't talk.
Okay, so you was behind the scenes. You was behind the scenes.
But when he said fill in for Rain, I'm thinking he don't have me talking. But that was Flex. Like, he really made you work for it, and that I laugh about that. So that was one time I thought I made it. I didn't. Second time I thought I made it was when I did actually get that full-time job to come to 93.9 and do the night show. It was me and Quick and I started that in 2007.
Wow.
So that was when I really felt like I made it, because now the big thing is, can you get a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you get a show on the radio? There's only 4 slots, and usually at least one is syndicated, which is your morning show. So that knocks you out there. So you got middays, afternoons, or nights to try to get a slot. And so when I got that job, I thought, okay, I made it.
I made it.
But I was just starting. I had no idea that there was going to be this whole career involved. And so I think the next time I thought I made it probably was when they stopped, when it was just me, when there was no more Quicksilver, there was no more, I gotta be with someone else, when it was just me. And at that point, that's definitely
when you knew.
Yes,
because you could hold it down.
When I could hold it down completely by myself and lead and do what I wanted to do, and nobody was really messing with me. And I was dominating. And then, my competition, anybody who came on any other station, they kept trying different people, and
they couldn't hold up.
They couldn't hold the girl.
It must be Angie on the mic.
That's when you know you made it.
And so, what I also want to know is, once you got in that lane, it's so many different things you could have went into, right? So many different avenues you could have went into. So, what made you say, "This is the lane"? Like, I know I'm in this lane now, and I'm gonna stay right here. Because you met so many people. You could have veered off and did some other things. You could have.
Yeah.
So what made you say, this is it for me? Like, I know this is it. No other lane. This is it for me.
So I look at it like, it's not that there's no other lane. This was the vehicle I chose.
That's the
so I would say,
choose you?
Yeah. Well, it could have been a combination of both, but I think that when you have certain transferable skills, they will transfer into any industry you want to be in. So when you don't want to get caught up into thinking I am radio and radio is me, because then if you don't have it, who are you, right?
Right.
So I never just looked at it like that. Radio was just my vehicle to reach people. So I love people. I love connecting with people.
I got you.
And even in my new role at WHUT, I'm still connecting people, telling stories. The same thing I've been doing, just in a different medium.
So now all these people you've met, right? You've met so many people in the industry.
Yeah.
Who would be the one person that you say kind of gave you a whole different light when it comes to industry? Who's that one person that influenced you to say, wow, give you a whole different perspective? Because you met a lot of people in the industry, right? I won't say who your favorite, but I'll say who influenced you the most. Like who put some in your ear, or just you looked at them and saw how they moved or whatever and was like, yeah,
that made a difference.
This person.
I would go a little left and say who kept me in it, kept me going. Who do I feel like I was in it with the most was probably Wale.
Yeah.
Wale and I started together. So I was an intern. He was trying to get his records played, and he would come in there and bring shoes for the jocks and everything, you know. And I was just an intern, and he was just trying to get a record play. He would be in the mall, you know. He'd be in the mall trying to pass out his record, his flyers and stuff. And I was trying to start my radio career. So he was trying to start his rap career. I was starting my radio career, and our trajectory just kind of we grew up together. Yes,
So
and so we made up, break
Wale.
up. Yes,
you kind of watched
and he
him
watched
develop.
me become Angie Ange.
And he watched you become Angie Ange.
And that's hard. And you're in an industry where there's just so much pressure, and sometimes things are great, and other times things are really low. And so and people don't understand that. No one understands that, and no one cares. They want you to be who they hear every day. And so that was something him and I could share throughout both of our careers, is the ups and the downs, you know. And to have someone like that, and especially when they from here, because a lot of the artists, we meet a bunch of artists, but they're not from here.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
different. Yeah. Him and I, we were able to relate to each other. We still are. We're still very close. I still care about him very much, and he cares about me very much. And we pushed each other, and so that felt good to have someone like, again, he was on the artist side, and I was on the personality side. But I wouldn't, you know, he didn't influence me per se, but he was a great partner to have on the journey.
On the journey,
yeah.
Wow. So I got one question that I ask a lot of artists. We got to get ready to wrap. You got 1 hour. You go into a great space.
Okay.
You got a pocket full of money. You're feeling great. It's one artist that you can listen to for that whole hour. You can't take them out. Who is it?
Oh, Erykah Badu.
That was easy.
Yes,
That was
Erykah
easy,
Badu.
bro.
Oh yeah, I have a trilogy. There's my trilogy is Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, and Jill Scott. And then when Jasmine Sullivan came on the scene, she became I can't put her in the trilogy. She's not in the gods, but she's right there.
She's hovering though.
Oh, amazing voice. Yeah, I have a thing about just amazing voices. So Erykah Badu is a must, and it would be either Worldwide Underground, either that's the album we rockin', or it would probably be one of her live albums.
The live album.
The live album. You can't go wrong with that. Me and Flex used to listen to that. We go to Fast Eddie's. He turned that thing on, open up he had this Hummer, open up the what is it,
The
sunroof.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, we're blasting Erykah Badu going to Fast Eddie's. Those were great experiences.
Yes.
I love that, man.
Angie, I didn't get an opportunity to talk too much about where you are now at WHUTV, but I mean WHU Radio, HUT Radio. But I wanted you to touch on that before we let you go, because people do want to know, you know, like you've transitioned. She got to voluntarily retire from radio, and you're no longer at 93.9. But I want you to tell about your transition to where you are now.
Sure.
And you also are an entrepreneur in the restaurant business. Just mention that as well.
Okay, I'll try to be as brief as possible. But yes, I'm the director of content at Howard University Television. So I went back to my alma mater. And basically, I'm in charge of you know, the vision. What do we want WHUT to be? How will it touch people? And I'm kind of in charge of the programming. So right now, PBS, I'm submitting folks programs for the PBS Short Film Festival. So I have that type of power now where I can hire people and build teams. And so I'm also looking at, like, what do we put on the station? What stories do we tell? That's kind of what I do currently.
Wow.
And entrepreneurial wise, I've always been into investing in folks. So I've been doing that for years. Yay. Lost tons of money investing in y'all dreams, but learned a lot along the way. But one thing about being an investor, a lot of times my aunt's a CPA. Shout outs to Holmes and Associates Financial. But she had taught me kind of how to manage my money early on, because she's one of the only black women in Montgomery County that really owns her own financial advisory space. So anyway, she would always tell me two things. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And then she would also tell me, don't invest what you're not afraid to lose. So as long as you can lose it, you can do it.
You should do it.
And that's why I lost a lot. But I never lost my shirt, because I always could. It was never that much, right?
Right.
So, but each time, whether I lost or won big, whatever, I kept learning more and more how to vet people, how to vet deals and things of that nature. And so an opportunity came around during the pandemic in 2020. Expectation in downtown Silver Spring, it shut down.
Yep.
And we got an opportunity with Peterson Group, and so I partnered with Jeff Musciri, who owns Creole on 14th, and he owns Po' Boy Gyms, and he said, hey, we might have an opportunity over here in Silver Spring if you want to check it out. And I said, okay. So we met with Peterson Group, and they tried his food at Creole on 14th, and they wanted him to bring a similar concept to downtown Silver Spring, and he named it after his wife, Miss Toya's Creole House, and I said, let's do it. And so it was just me and him, so we were partners on it. It's open, it's doing amazing, and I'm learning so much in that space just as an investor. He operates it, runs it, him and his wife and family, and they do their thing, and I'm just learning from them and thankful that that's my big home run. That has been a huge home run. Yeah.
Yes,
and
I couldn't let you go without talking about
you.
that.
Yeah, Miss
Y'all get
Toya's
over there.
Y'all go support. Make sure you guys support Miss
Thank
Toya's,
you.
right?
Yeah, Miss Toya's Creole House, downtown Silver Spring. Appreciate the love on it, and
Yes.
just so many people that have either tried it or, gone to it, and I'm thankful for that. And so and I've got right now I've got a young lady out of Detroit. She has a clothing line. She got a deal with Saks Fifth Avenue, and she didn't have I'm supporting that. I'm investing in that, and we're about to have that launched in the next week or two, hopefully, or next month.
Yes, I
Gotcha.
know
So
that's
we'll put
right.
all your information on our website. We'll make sure we
Sure,
double back
yeah.
in anything
How do they
else.
follow you?
Yeah, how do they follow you real quick before we get out?
Well, now that I did all this investment, everybody gonna be in my box trying to
I'm
pitch.
very follow you. I'm gonna follow you today.
Follow us at Spotlight Over the City.
Yes,
There you go.
that's right. I
Must
love
be
it.
Angie on the mic. Y'all
Thank
give
you
it
so
up one
much.
more time for Angie.
Angie,
in the building.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank you
so
so much for being a part
much.
of
Thank you for
Spotlight.
having
We
me.
love
I'm
you
a
much.
fan. I'm such a fan of this show, and to see it live is really dope. So thank you. Thank you for the
you so
invite.
much.
Thank you for being a part. We appreciate
Yes,
it so much.
have some food, enjoy
So
yourself.
y'all, so sit tight. Don't go nowhere. We got to wrap up. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Spotlight Over the City.